Any thoughts from you on the
Uh,
coaching side?
well, one more question on that. You were describing earlier the four-step process,
Yeah.
and I think you mentioned assessment.
Yes.
You developed one?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in sales my whole life. I mean, I literally started selling when I was in high school, working a part-time job at a men's clothing store. And then I got into my own selling Indian jewelry business, Native American jewelry business, where I would travel out to New Mexico and buy it there and bring it back to Kansas City and sell it there, in my college years. And I loved all of that. And then I got into sales after college. So as I went through my sales career, and of course, when you own your own business, you're always selling, always. Whether you're a consultant or a coach or whatever, there's always selling involved in that process. I've been through just about every different kind of sales training you can think of. All of the big names, Miller Hyman and Challenger and Spin. And, I've read the books and I've looked at that. There's always been something missing for me in sales. And about a decade ago, I've had this in the back of my mind for many years. But about a decade ago, when I decided to do a deep dive into the way our brains work, the neuroscience, into emotions and emotional intelligence, it finally dawned on me that the missing piece for me was emotional intelligence. Let me explain what I mean by that as briefly as I can, as concisely as I can. Personality is not a primary predictor of success. It's a secondary predictor. Will someone fit into a certain role? Personality helps with that. And we use DISC assessments and we use a variety. I'm certified in many, many different assessments. And we use those, and they're very helpful for communication purposes. Personality is really great, but it isn't a primary predictor of success. And 95 to 98% of sales assessments out there are based in a form of a personality assessment. So if that's not a primary predictor of success, what is? Well, think about it this way. What I realized was every day in sales, you have ups and downs. Every one of those ups and downs comes with it an emotional experience that adds to and or takes away from your motivation and energy. So as we as salespeople go through the day, we realize through the different experiences that we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. And it may happen in the same day. It's like riding a roller coaster, to be honest about it. But when we have our downs, how long does it take for us to get back up? That length of time is critical, because when you get a no, and I used to get just crushed when I got a no. So I would be discouraged and disappointed and frustrated, and I would run this video in my mind over and over of what did I mess up and how could I have done it better, and I would just cycle in these negative emotions for such a long period of time, which kept me from going out and doing the next thing I should be doing. So I wasn't making as many calls as I should. I wasn't taking no as I should. What do I mean by that? I now look at no as not yet. When somebody says no to me, I don't take it. I mean, unless you look at me in the eye and say, go away and never come back again, I'm not going to take that as a closed door. So, okay, maybe I've created this pattern for myself, but it works. And bottom line, I've realized that emotional intelligence is the one skill set that will be most predictive. So I started to develop in my mind an assessment based on the application of certain critical success factors related directly to someone's emotional intelligence. Out of that has come what's called the EQFIT Sales Profile. In partnership with 6 Seconds, the largest emotional intelligence community in the world, I have created an assessment based on their highly validated SAY assessments, or 6 seconds emotional intelligence assessment. I mean, highly validated. So the validation on the assessment that I have is just partnered with the validation of their assessment. And out of that has come an incredibly powerful 1-page report that talks about sales style and talks about the 8 success factors. It is a very important assessment in that it measures how someone is placing their focus and energy split between 8 different critical success factors. Where did that come from? Where did those 8 critical success factors come from? And Rick, it took me almost a year to do just the background research. I read 30 different sales experts from around the world. I read everything I could on them. I looked into their sales processes. I took their newsletters. I did everything I could. Out of that year-long research, what I came up with is they all pretty much agreed on these 8 things that are important. Things like initiative and persuasion and persistence, resourcefulness, accountability, all of these things, their direction, and other more relatable skills like understanding others and being friendly with others. And how do you use those? So these 8 critical success factors will determine your sales style. And that's going to determine where you're putting your focus and energy right now in how to influence others. The beauty of this assessment, you could take it every month and you can watch changes if you want to make changes. If you say this style may be okay now, but I think this style would be better for me in my sales success, you can move that direction. I've created online courses to support this process, to help people not only understand it, but develop those 8 critical success factors and get the right mix so they can experience the greatest success possible. That's a long answer, Rick, but that is the genesis of the EQFIT sales profile.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Very helpful to understand the full context of that and the significance of it.